Good morning. We are live. We are live
Indirect.
and we are live. Welcome. It's May. Happy Saturday to everyone.
Yeah, for real. It is. Wow.
It is
Wow.
May. 5 months in.
Wow. Wow. I didn't even think about that, man.
Already.
Just,
Already. 5
yeah, it's different when you don't have no spring break or summer break or fall
Yeah.
break
Yeah.
or
Absolutely.
Easter holiday, Passover.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
it wasn't bad in school back when we was in
No.
school.
No.
Who knew?
We were
Saying,
excited. By this time of the year, we were excited.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Little cool weather. We had 100-degree yesterday. Today it's like
Yep,
32.
thank you, man. You can turn it off.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah,
Cool, cool.
we have some Saturday digs, everyone. So don't Saturday maintenance. So
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
mind
So
us.
yeah, I'll be right back.
No problem. No problem. So hopefully everyone's having a good Saturday. Good morning. Good morning. Our committed Saturday live attendant
Yeah,
attendees.
quiet host.
Good morning.
Yeah, I quiet host. You know what I'm saying? It's all good though. But I'm back. I'm back in effect.
All right. Well, we didn't have a pre-production meeting today. I guess we can have one now.
Yeah, we do it right now. That's how it works. So I mean, well, all the advertisement that we put out this week was about asking questions to us, and which we always do. I mean, we're here to basically, not basically, but I'm one of the things is to answer questions. But you know what? What was possibly happening is that people don't know how to formalize their questions in terms of what we discuss. Growing your business, right? Some people don't know. Some people may be a little apprehensive of
Good,
asking
good
questions too.
word. Good
You know what I'm
word. Good
saying?
word.
And I get it. So I figured today, which incidentally, this is how our production meetings go anyway. But what I figure is it's more about what did I learn this week? How about I just share what I learned this week? How
There you
about that?
go. There you go.
If I could remember, but that's a lot because a lot of it is internal. Like you learn a lot internal, and you know, but also the themes that come around again, like how you might learn something in a book or wherever you learn it, but you can't recognize it when it happens, or you don't immediately recognize when it happens. Those are the things that I think become difficult. Now I might be getting on a 300 level type subject matter, but I mean this is what you come here for. You don't come here for the basics, and that's rule number one. I'm not basic. That's what I learned this week. I'm not basic. Like no, I'm trying to share what I know, and what I know is past the basics. So that's what I learned this week, and I also learned that I can't allow the suckers to keep the airwaves jam packed with foolishness. Can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, hey, look, it's a wonderful time to be in business. As always, it's a wonderful time. And what I did experience, let me think about my week. I got to get a little runway because, like you said, we came in hot. We came in cold. I mean, I'm just, you know, um, just think about what I do in the course of a week. It's it's really interesting. I mean, it's interesting. So, for one of my other ventures, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and is in food service industry,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an interesting industry though, because people it's visual. it's a visual industry.
Mm-hmm.
People look at food products. If you have a brick and mortar, they look at the facility. They look at it. It's very, people see it. They see a lot of people eating, a lot of people partaking, and the automatic assumption they're making a lot of money. That is like off the rip, the belief. And this is why KPIs are important. We always talk about KPIs.
Mm-hmm.
A casual or fast, I think it was fast casual or a fast food restaurant. On average, their net profit margin is 16%.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that for every dollar you spending, if they're efficient, they're keeping 16 cents. The owners, because people are getting paid and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They're keeping 16 cents of every dollar you spend. So McDonald's include all these places. So, when I go with this, when people everything is always reported in gross revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, oh, we did $100 million and all this stuff, Now, granted, 16% of 100 million is still something. Don't get it's just like $16 million like that.
Correct.
But it's understanding that how much money it costs to make that revenue. Like, so that's saying that basically 84% of every dollar is going towards generating the revenue. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the lesson for the day. Yeah, I finally talked my way into it like that. There's something called gross margin, and then there's a net margin. These are accounting terms that are used to classify the income statement, which many people call the P&L. It has many names, many faces, but it's the income statement. But you had three components to this thing. You had the gross revenue, which I'm not just take gross revenue, all right. And you had gross profit. So ordinarily, in more manufacturing concerns or certain industries, we put the cost of the sales, direct costs, what we call direct costs, going into direct costs of the revenue, the money that you had to spend for the revenue. People don't do it in service industries as much, but whatever. I do it at times, and I've been playing with it, like to look at, say, so I know that this amount of money is what I need, is what it costs to generate my revenue. But that's the cost of goods sold. You may have heard that cost of revenue is another term for that too. So, that's like your food costs in restaurants, food costs and payroll costs are the two largest costs, period. Two largest costs right there, directly for the food. Not the marketing and people thinking everything advertising. No, that's the cute stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The food costs and the personnel. And the place where restaurants will struggle is managing those two costs.
Mm-hmm.
Because the food cost varies. Like, it varies. Like, a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, and so just the way that it varies, like in the supermarket, for those of us that aren't in food service, the food service industry, it varies, from the wholesale level. So that's a constant wave. And most places or most establishments, you're not changing your menu price like as the market changes. So you just kind of sitting there, you're like, okay, I got to know when to raise my price because at a certain point you're killing your margin. Remember, we just working on 16%. I call it 15% so I can do some quick math if we need to.
Mm-hmm.
15%, every penny counts. Every penny. I didn't say every dollar, every penny counts. So how do you manage that? Accounting system. You know, I got to throw that in there.
Of course you do. Of course.
Like that, throw that in there.
Of course.
But that's not what we're here talking about. What we're talking about is getting from this fanatical, sexy gross revenue number down to what you keep, which is net profit. So, you know, you got your cost of sales, and then you have your overhead. And now the difference between the cost of sales or cost of revenues and the overhead is that the overhead, you have to pay that whether you make $1 or not. So overhead, like in a restaurant business, your rent. If you get no customers, you still got to pay your rent. If you got, you know, insurance, you have to pay. Utilities, you have to pay. All these things, if you do advertising, these are the types of things that you have to pay. And you may say, well, why would I have, you know, because you're like, well, I got to have staff, you know, if I have to pay. But the one thing about that is you, especially in food service, you would probably send people home if nothing was happening. You was like, so it varies, you know, and it's tied into my income. Like, you know, if I got 4 people in and we slow, I might send 2 home or 3 or all 4 and man the shop myself. Be like, yeah. So, you know, this is just a brief overlay, like just for people, you know, and this is part of my week. Like how you go from these gross income numbers down to the net, or for our layman's terms, what you keep in your pocket. So how you go from what you bring in to what you keep. And it's an exercise. It's something that we go through every day or every other day. We talk about ways to adjust this. But we have to be in tune to these numbers. And I think the bigger thing here is how we always talk about being in touch with your numbers, being in touch with them. Too many business owners are out of touch with their financial reality. They just not. What they're in touch to is, well, how much am I have to pay in taxes?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, spent the whole year, you know, like going back to this restaurant thing. So look, I'm gonna do easy stuff. Say you sell your plate. You got one dish. I mean, you got the best whatever. I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter. $10, right? You sell it for $10. In last year or last month, your cost for doing this thing was $5. You know, your food cost was $5.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta pay all this other stuff, right? You know, that's all the overhead still got to come out of there. $10. We still ended up with $1.50 at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, something in the world happens, boom. You know, war and, you know, or cow famine or something like that. Say I'm thinking hamburgers. I don't know why. All right. Now, it costs you $6.50.
Mm-hmm.
Your food cost is $6.50. But guess what? But you don't change your what you charge, right?
Right.
You no longer have any profit whatsoever. But you don't change it because you still got money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't sit there and look, you like this. But then at the end of the month, you like, wait a minute. Why don't I have any money? I'm making sales. Heck, you could make more sales than you did the previous month.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the cost of the goods went up, you don't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? I don't know. You have no idea. But you don't sit back and take the time out and be like, well, yo, you know what? This thing cost us, it ate up all our profit. And what we didn't do was change our price to go from $10 to $11.50 to keep the same profit margin. Because, and also think about the fact that because everything is cyclic, if I get to $11.50 and my price goes back down to $5, we all know ain't nobody gonna lower their price like that. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna keep the price.
Right.
And what that does is it allows you to generate now a higher profit. But if you're fiscally disciplined, you start accumulating cash. So when those ebbs and flows come, you can withstand them.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. So I mean, I know this is not the most thrilling, but I mean, to me, it is. As a business owner, like these are the things that make you great. I say it all the time. Like it's all good. Your social media branding. You got nice headshots, good photos. Your office looks like a something out of Breakfast at Tiffany's. Smells sweet around here. Everything is beautiful and all that. But you know what it comes back to? What I'm talking about right now. And you could be, you nice. I mean, you got Louis Vuitton doggone drawers. I mean, you're all that. But to build and grow a business, there's these principles behind it. And many of them go back to accounting that you can't get past. And that's why I say, when as an accountant by trade, I don't get excited by numbers. People pop off their numbers because the process of accounting doesn't change whether you $1 to $1 trillion. It doesn't change. So it's whatever. But but when you know the numbers, you know the story, right? You get the story. But how many people can interpret the story, and how many people really want the story? Because it's a lot more fun to do a marketing campaign, or to be like, my brand is this, your brand is that. My brand, my brand, my brand, my brand, my brand, my brand, my brand. Your brand. Do you even know what? All right, I'll say that for later in the show. But what is a brand? I don't want to have too many topics but this is the course of my week. I'm reviewing the week, so I talked about that. That's more of the personal stuff. I'll get to that. But what I'm saying is managing your margins. You got to manage your business in alignment. That's your word. In alignment with the financial performance of the business, because you're not doing this for likes, clicks, and someone to pat you on the head and say it looks really good. You're doing it to take care of your family, but also if you on another level, you're enhancing the community if you're employing people. And I would highly suggest people, especially in the community, consider that. I mean, we have so many sole proprietors in the community. A lot. Why? Because it costs you under $500 to organize a company and get an EIN. That's the not the real reason. It's a big reason why. Because you could say, I'm gonna start this company. What's the first thing everybody say they need to do? And then you get an LLC and get an EIN number. Henceforth, now I got a company. You still got an idea. You ain't got no company. What are you talking about? I'm just saying that, you can put what you guys say down in the comments. I mean, whatever. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, no, you don't. I mean, you registered a company, but I mean, that's like I draw a picture of a house and I got a house. No, like Joe, no, you don't. You just have an idea. So so yeah, that's right. I'm here all week. I'm only here for 36 more minutes. So yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, it's that kind of week. A lot of inflections, a lot of reflections, and one thing all I'm gonna say is I think it's legal up here. That's all I'm gonna say. I think these cats are working, getting it in, man. Wow. word is born, man. I had to stop in my tracks. Hey, man, legalize it, right?
Yeah, right.
Hey, yo. Wow. All right. So, so this things might turn left around here in a minute. I ain't start freestyling all types of stuff. Be like, yes, you know what I'm saying? I already got the red cup on deck, you know what I'm saying? What else is there? Yo, man, the game is real. I mean, as a side note, I mean, yo, some dude, that's their coffee, though. I know people, that's their coffee.
Ooh, yo, you
That's
are
their coffee.
crazy.
Yo, man, it's their coffee. Can't get started without that. And I'm like, how do you start your day with that? You know what I'm saying? like caffeine is a you know, it gets you, like you start with that. Damn, man, that's a whole nother level. Yeah, that threw me off, man. Hey, man, look, I yield, bro. I'm like, yo, how's it going down, man? Yo, man. But I mean, yeah, yo, brother, hey, man, it's going down. So I'm saying, there ain't no digging going on or nothing. Stop, take a break. So, yeah, man. But that's one part of what I learned this week, man. That, oh man, you gotta be in touch with your numbers. It's short. Now I can say it's short. I maybe I'm more relaxed now. Yeah, look, you be in touch. you know, yeah, man. Yo, yeah, it's serious, dude. I'm inside, and yo, man. You know what? You know what my other lesson for the week is?
What's that?
Life could be fun if you let it be.
True.
And I yield. I need a moment.
You know, it's funny that you started talking about that topic, is I had a couple of meetings this week, clients and prospective clients, and these are businesses that's already in flow. They've been going. One business has been in business for, I think it's the second generation.
That's something else. That's not the nonprofit from 85.
Nah. This is this. You know, yeah. I won't go into too much specifics.
Oh, of course, we never do that.
Man? But two things: gross margin. No one knows.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
they don't even understand how it's calculated. Right. That's the first thing. The second piece to that is cost modeling. What is your model for your costs? How do you justify your costs? How do you formalize your retail based off of your hotel or your direct costs? Big thing, right? So that's been that's really been a heavy lifting this weekend, conversation wise. Well, I'm talking about, I've talked to six businesses specifically this week about that. And very interesting. Now, here's the other caveat to that. All of them, except for two, had plans written out, business plans already written out, but the plans are sitting on the shelf somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not being used, not being updated, not being understood. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And even with that, there has to be some sort of consistent market research being done. Meaning whether you're surveying your current clients or customers, you're seeing what the market needs, what the market could bear, what the market's asking for. A lot of times business owners get into what they're passionate about, which is not a bad thing. Absolutely not. You have to like what you do, believe what you do, so on and so forth. However, there's still much more, there's a greater noise beyond what that business owner's passion is, and that's the needs of the people, the need of the market. Are you address if you're in that particular industry providing that product and service? Are you addressing the needs of the market? If not, then you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And if you by you leaving a lot of money on the table and not planning and not doing your research and not knowing how to properly formalize your gross margin, calculate your gross margin, that's you're leaving so much more, 4 or 5 times more money on the table, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I call it. It's the unsexy part of the deal. However, when you become comfortable with it, it can actually be pretty fulfilling
Well,
because you're working from a proactive approach and not a reactive approach. You're not working from a confident approach and not a worrying approach. Worry still sets in here or there, but if you have something to go back to, you're able to kind of calm that anxiety down and figure out what is your way forward. Because it's always about figuring out what is the way forward for me to solve X. Wake up. We in a world where business is nothing but solving problems and fulfilling people's wants and needs. That's it. If you think life is something other than that,
yeah, that's a great point. I mean, that's a great point because I mean it's pretty simple when you distill it down. Like it's simple. You either provide something they want, or so I provide something they need.
that's it.
Simple as that. Yep.
So what are you solving for? What is X to you? What does X
Yeah.
mean to you? And how do you get X to move to Y and Z
Yeah.
to completion? Right?
Yeah.
And so it's the more and more deeper I go with certain aspects of business development and analysis and financing, forecasting, throw any name you want at it. If it has an EIN behind it, there's a whole lot of digging that
Yeah.
needs to be right.
Absolutely. And that's where and you talked about a couple of good things there, but I'm under the influence right now, so can't necessarily remember what's going on, but it's like
You are hilarious.
I mean, look, I'm trying to be. It's Saturday morning. This is not like you hit it, and I say it all the time. The unsexy is what makes you great. That's it. That's it. If you want to be great, if you want to have a great company, and I'm not talking about revenue great, just a great company, something that you just like, yo, you know what? I created this, man. I started this. This was my idea. I looked to solve a problem. I came out here, I took my approach to solving the problem. I was able to get people some, other people some money, so do my thing and grow. And it's infinity. Wherever you go with it, there's no limit. And I want to build something. I think that's the underlying. You want to build something. You don't want to just have a company and get money.
Mm-hmm.
And you get money, everything, because you could have the company get money, and then this next thing come on, you shutter that, and you go get money doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's hustling. I mean, most of us come from that. It's cool. I'm talking about that next level. This is a turn today, people. Well,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've given them 100 courses. Now, I feel as though I will share more of what goes on inside my head when I'm not under the influence. Or maybe I am under the influence. But the point is, what?
This is just a disclaimer, folks.
Oh,
He's
what? Wait.
under the influence of silliness and not
Yeah. But I mean, I'm completely legal where I am right now.
It don't matter. He ain't under no influence.
I'm
This is
just saying.
for all our shorts that people may watch. I'm under
Yeah.
the influence. He's not under the influence. He's having fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to make it fun. You got to make it fun so that
Right.
when things are bad, you got something else to laugh about. But
True.
if you really, really want to build a company, that company, I forget. I'm not even giving people the bailout. If you want to build the company,
Sign
these
up,
are the
sign up to have a consultation. That's what they could do.
well, they could do that. But before they have a consultation with us, you need to have a consultation with yourself. And you need to decide what it is you're trying to do in your venture. You need to really decide, because if you're coming out of a job, you're like, I don't want to work for someone anymore. I don't want to work for somebody else. And I don't want to make somebody else money. All these things that people say. That's how you're going to approach this LLC with the EIN you got. You're going to approach it that way, as I don't want to have a boss no more. So I'm going to do my thing and make my money, and that's that. Perfectly fine. It's okay. But that's not what we're talking about here. There's things that go into that. It's cool, but that's not what we're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about anyway. I ain't gonna speak for nobody else, because I'm just, I'm setting it up for the troll squad.
You know what? I had a funny training session with one of my trainees at my business clients, right? And the comment that was made, it was a really great call. We moved the needle a lot. And one of the statements that they made was, unfortunately, I lost my job, and because of my skills and experience, I was forced to start my own. Now watch this. Not for meaning it was hard for her to find another gig within the time frame she needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So watch what she did. She went and reached out to previous employers and was able to get some consulting work
Mm-hmm.
and gained about 5 different client jobs.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, unfortunate is the word. So I say that to say, and I highlight unfortunate because, to your point, it's about placement. It's how you think about things. It's how you place certain words and use certain words, which will adjust your belief system, right? And so if you say it's unfortunate that something happened and then something very fortunate happened, and you don't see it as a fortune and a good opportunity and a way forward, you're gonna miss the boat. because because nothing in something in life. I tell my kids all the time. Change is going to happen. It's either you decide or life is going to make the decision for you, and then you have to deal with the changes that life gives you.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no challenge, there's no change. No challenge, no change doesn't make you better. Why would somebody want to change if it's going okay? That's part of human nature. Nobody's going to change anything if there's no distinction that a change needs to happen.
Or they're just a little off like me. They just keep wanting to change.
Nah,
I mean,
nah,
I'm on small
nah.
stuff.
Well, yeah, because see, you have what you're at a level of where your foresight is a lot clearer. You already looking over the horizon without you
Yeah,
anticipating what the horizon, because the horizon keeps moving as you get closer to it. You're not
yeah,
gonna really see over it, right? Unless you just completely just
yeah,
conk out,
yeah.
right?
Yep. So
But that's training. But that's training. That's constant training that you go through, and the shape of business shapes you to think like that and to have
yeah,
a clear plan. Make sense?
yeah.
So
And that's what I'm speaking of. Like it's that's a great example of somebody taking it and saying, okay, I lost my stream of income. I want to I need to find a way. I'm good at what I do. I need to find a way to generate income. The workforce or being hired as an employee is not an opportunity for me anymore. So I'm going to take all this experience I have, and that's a common thing. They tell people, if you find yourself in that position and you have to kind of freelance, because it's still freelancing, go back to your former employers. And that's why it's important to not burn everything out when you leave a job. don't burn everything. I mean, if you need to take a couple of pins or something, a mouse or something, that's all right. But some people go scorched earth, pow, that. So, because then it costs, and because often your co-workers, where you are co-workers, are managers, where you got to get back, the people you used to work with now are high up the food chain, something like that. So it's a good place for you to do that. But people go in and they say, "Yo, I'm just gonna have me, a little shop and do something like that." And while the principles we discuss here are about that, a lot more. I'll tell you where I'm coming from. I'm all about. You're not going to get but so far by yourself. I mean, it's just fact. And I know that. I tell you that as somebody that's been doing business by myself and then not doing business by myself. You're not going to get that far. According to what you want to do. As I said, if you're just making your income or doing, you just basically you're making a job for yourself. I mean, you just call it what it is. Yeah, you could do that. You might need one person, blah, blah, blah. Well, boom. You focus on that. All right. And you do it. You take your money, you go take your vacation when you want to. You work every day, you go in every day. That's what you want to do. It's good. But a lot of the principles that we come with, and this is getting back to the gross margin thing. Let's say you want to move from that and you're like, hey, I want to do something different where it wasn't just me making 2 phone calls. Like I have to go out here and evaluate the marketplace and compete in the marketplace. I have to go out here and compete in the marketplace for the dollars, right? You're now stepping into another arena. It's a whole different arena. Because now you're in the Wild West. You out here now. So now what you have to do is you have to generate people's interest. And I think people misuse the term competition when it comes to business.
Big time.
And this is where we use the term competition in business like it's like sports, like competition. What you have to understand is that you're competing for the marketplace's dollar. And you're not just competing. So like in food service. Yeah, McDonald's and Burger King are competitors, and Wendy's is like that. But you're also competing with staying at home and cooking yourself, going to a fast casual or a sit down place. You compete in food because everybody eats. It's not like it's not like what we're doing. Everybody eats, right. So they got there's only a couple of ways you can get the food you want to eat.
Correct.
You can make it at home. You can order it in. You can go carry it out. You can go sit down in a restaurant. I mean, just to be the most common person. So you're competing against the people's urges to eat. What McDonald's has done over this, and it's been, I think he started in 1962 or something like that, franchise-wise, but the McDonald's brothers was prior to that. 60 years. So what they've done, and we walked back into it. Good job. What they've done is branded fast food in your brain. Because if you hit people and you think fast food, I mean, I would venture to say 8 out of people. You'd be like, what do you think when you say the word fast food?
Most
McDonald's is going to be 7 or 8 out of 10 people are going to say that. no one, most people are not going to say, you know, Hardee's, well, or Roy Jr.'s or up here. Used to be Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers.
Yo,
Joint, though, man.
what? You
Roy
just
Rogers.
took me
Joint.
back.
Yeah, that was special with the little bar and the pickles. But anyway,
Wow.
like nobody, people are going to say McDonald's. And even for and breakfast, forget about it. There's ain't none of them. No one's close in fast food breakfast. Like if you say fast food breakfast, even breakfast, like just, I'm talking nationwide. McDonald's, period. Like
Well, you know, so it's funny you say that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I got to insert myself here. Do you know that? Do you know why they are top in their breakfast? Because of how they branded their breakfast, right?
yeah.
How did and
This
they
is in
branded and the branding of the breakfast is because they 90%, I think it was 90%, whatever percent was high, of their breakfast clientele are people that are driving to work.
So is the
So
drive.
people, so no, it's not the drive through. It's the packaging.
Oh
So
yeah, the way that it's packaged. Yeah.
so you could so if you could open up your packaging, you could open up your little sauces, you could place them, and you could eat and go while you're driving.
While you drive.
Grab your
Yep.
shake, or your drink, or your coffee
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yep.
It's the most amazing market research that they put together, and that's why they're killing the breakfast game.
Yeah, I mean it's not even close. Like it's not just like for real. You think about it. This is a hamburger restaurant by its genesis,
Right,
but it is like the number one
for breakfast.
fast food breakfast. You like McDonald's.
Yep.
That's branding, people. I told you I was going to get back to it. That's branding. Your personal brand that you're a influencer, whatever, means nothing. Because look, what is a brand? We're saying, listen, when I say McDonald's, what do you think? Fast food breakfast. I named it 2 words that make me when McDonald's says it says something to me right there. So and so Jackson, say your name. What does it mean to me? She got nice pictures on the, or he got nice, whatever. You can't build a brand in 2 weeks.
No.
And you know, and people, whatever. We're in a brand building process right now. And what I keep saying, I say, yo, the goal is, and it's you saying it. This is perfect. Had we had the production meeting, this might have been the whole show. But anyway, it's saying, what are you? Who are you? What makes you special? Everybody can start a company now. It's not special. You started a company, big deal. What difference does it make? I got more defunct companies than people. Yeah, it's nothing.
Right.
What makes you? And this gets into market competition. What makes you you? Now we'll get into the semantics of selling is different. That's whatever. But just on here, what makes you here? The McDonald's brand, boom. And you know, I mean, we just had to go with the biggest one. Think about when you think of McDonald's. Some people think like I can't eat there no more. But you still know McDonald's because it doesn't matter. You take myself. My fault. Anyway, him with the McDonald's. And I came to the pressure one day. Went through the drive-thru. I said, I'm like, yo, man, I get something. Got me a regular hamburger despite all my stuff. I did all right, though. I ain't hurt myself. Because when I did eat, all I really ate was the regular hamburger. Like, I ain't, try to play
You
myself.
get the Big Mac quarter pounder with cheese and all that.
That was when I was younger. I had the but I had regular hamburger. But it was not a fulfilling experience, I will tell you.
I don't know when the last time I had me some McDonald's.
Oh, it was, before that, man, it was easily 10 years before I had it. 10 years, like easily. But here's the thing. If you in the car with somebody else that don't have a restriction, you'd be like, yo, you want to go to McDonald's? Even if you don't eat there.
Right.
Yo, pick me something up. Yeah. People like, I don't know what I want. Yo, you want me to go to Mickey D's for you?
Right.
Brand. Pow! Right. It's banged in your head. Fast food. McDonald's. Breakfast. McDonald's. Brand. What does it say? Trademark brand. What's the story you telling behind it? Who are you? It's not the person. So, like I'm saying, if I say Heyward CPA brand, and I put all the characteristics of me, just whatever I wanted to put in there, like I put some headphones around it because I DJ. Put some headphones around. No, that's not what that little logo on the corner. What is it going to mean to somebody? And we so young. I mean, we so young, and we get what does it mean? So it's personal branding. And that's why I was saying earlier in the show, well, we're just gonna get back to branding. Like people don't know, but if you're making a job for yourself, the brand is not as your personal brand, yeah. And maybe that's what people are doing. And I think resumes are called CVs now or something, and it's a lot of me. This is who I am. Here I am. I'm great. Use my company because I'm great and I'm attractive or something like that, right? Just like that. But what does it elicit? Your company. And now when you take that step, when the company is more than just you, what are you doing? And really, really get into it. Really sit and say, what does it is? And you know what? It's not like a 1 hour exercise and you say, oh, you may do that. Then you sit down and you think 2 weeks, you be like, nah, blah, 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 blah. It's just fun. I'm going to tell you, because as we come to the close, we finally got started. Yeah, close to the close. There's another aspect. I mean, so we've covered gross revenue and net gross profit, gross margin, excuse me, and going from everything you collect to what you keep. That was the early part of the show. We talked about, starting a job for yourself and taking that leap to wanting to be bigger. And in order to do that, it's all connected. You take the leap to be bigger, and I don't mean revenue bigger. I'm saying just your purview bigger. You have to start getting excited about mundane things. Okay, in order to do that. We talked about branding. We talked about, and you mentioned a lot market research, marketing. Marketing is a whole nother show, and I want to get a marketing person on here with us to talk about marketing because people
they mix it up. They don't understand it. Marketing is simply understanding the noise and the needs of the people. It is not promotion, folks. It is marketing. It's analytics. It's data. It's information. It's curating the right message to increase or to improve or to empower the branding behind the messaging and who you are as an organization or a company. Then you got your promotion.
Yeah, then you got your promotion, your advertising, your social media, and all that stuff. So that's a misnomer. But my final topic, the other thing I discussed today, and you mentioned it earlier, when people with business plans, living documents. So there's a couple of things, and what we talked about. Man, it's going down out here. Now we got motorcycles. First we had whatever. Now that's what I'm saying, man. Look, so living documents. When you take this step and you're dealing with stuff, things become living documents. Business plans, mission statements, vision statements, marketing plan, personnel plan, expansion plan, whatever it is. These aren't term papers, people. You're not writing those plans to turn into somebody for them to say yes, no, whatever. Although it could be used for that. You're writing it for you and anybody that's involved with your operation. They're alive. They're not dormant things. Like you don't write your business plan and then go put it, say, all right, well, we're gonna put that over there. And nobody needs to look at that. No, they're living documents, and it's and one of the other conversations I had earlier in the week, which I say all the time, a business plan is nothing else but a plan for how you're going to make money in your venture. What are you going to do? I know there is plenty of information out here that tells you the format of the business plan. You need this, you need that, you need this here. You need to make sure you have this section and all that. Yes, those are the those are the segments. Those are the things, high level business plans like that. That's covering all the bases of everything that goes. But the important thing for somebody that's not a professional business plan writer or something like that is to hit your bullet points and start with your bullet points of how this business is going to make money. That's a layman's term. How is it going to, like, just like if I ask you what your business plan is, like me, just me personally, if I ask you what's your business plan, how you do it, I only really need to know 3 ways that you plan to make money. Then we just break it all down to everything else. And you might only have 1 way. You don't have to have 3. Tell me what the plan is. As an accountant, that's all I need to know at first. Because then it's going to prompt me to give you other questions.
Right.
Because I'm going to go down the line. Well, how you plan on acquiring the clients and customers and so on and so forth. We're going to go through the sections of the business plan. But what's most important to the owner or the founder, the proprietor, is how I'm going to make money and to understand how you make the money. Understand? If I do contracting. Okay, what am I going to ask you? I say, okay, cool. You're going to get the contract, whatever. How many days, what do you have to do? What do you have to put in to get the contract? How many days does it take for you to get money back from the contract? If you work with the government or any government, state or local, federal government, it takes their turnaround times are long. Do you have enough money to withstand the AR days that it is? I mean, they could pay 30, 60, 90 days. The government shuts down, you jammed up. Because
and the crazy part about that is that's part of their prerequisite. They want to know how you're going to be able to handle not being paid within a certain period and how you're going to handle the risk of that. The payroll and whatever, dishing out certain products and things of that nature. So
it's a little, well, and when you bring that up, because I don't think people think government contractors is easy, but they don't understand that it's a thing. It's a thing. It's not just like, oh, well, you know what? Wake up this morning, go get a government contract, like that. Oh, you got it, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, the contract with them. There's one thing selling to them, like if you do some catering for the government, you know what I'm saying, and all of that, and saying, like it's people. I think what I'm saying is that you got to have a living document. You could call it living business document. I don't care. You call it yabba dabba doo, whatever you want to call it. Do you need a space for you to keep working on the idea of your business? You can't, because then what you're doing is you're just doing the same thing. You're not changing. So to your point about changing and all that, and shout outs to the world famous. She's in the building.
Oh,
I'm saying, all right.
Now we can get started, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, now that we can start. We're hour number 2 now. Now we can get going right there. But like it's serious out here. Like if you gotta like keep it. Oh, when you were talking about, what I said, someone like me, I'm change. I'm like, I'll change because it's Tuesday. I mean, I just be like, yeah, I'll say, yo, like that. But to your point, it's not out the blue. It's things I think about. It's things that I say. Like,
here's the thing: if it's not written down, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that
I got
simple.
a lot of stuff that ain't written down. I can't lie.
No, hold on.
But you say the framework.
Yeah, everything is a framework.
Yeah.
If you don't have it written down, it don't exist. Because some things are gonna, well, a lot of things are gonna live in your head, but you have some place to go back to
Yeah.
dump that out and actually see if it's formulated. No sense
Mhm.
in write, no sense in writing something down and it's not really,
You
you
ain't
know.
going back to it. But think about it. Most of our writing, like people projects like that, they're our habit is based on school. It's based on education, where you write something as a terminus. It's when I'm done with this paper. Here, grade it for me. I'm not gonna read it again. I need to read it again.
No,
I read it all these numbers of times or whatever. So I mean, I struggle with this now. The number of meetings. That's one thing. Why I say, I don't need that. We don't need to have no more meetings right now because I need to go back and look at all the meetings we had and be like, what have we implemented and what we haven't? Because I don't want to have another meeting about the same thing we already met about. I'm like,
that's
oh,
another thing. Yeah, that's another thing.
yeah, that's another. We doing early production. So pre-production meeting for 2 weeks. But so you got to. But I'm still gonna circle it back. It's just like your financial numbers. You're doing this work, and what happened? I think we minimize ourselves to revenue. That's the only thing. The only thing that we look at is revenue. How much money? We sit there, you can convince yourself that you're not doing well because, well, I ain't making no money. That's the number one thing. Like
Yeah.
you said earlier. Well, how come you're not making any money? You got sales, but you're not keeping any of the money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Only two possible reasons. You're not charging enough or you spending too much. Boom, look at that. MBA on 2 fingers. Right there. That's why. You could get into all this other spacecraft and all that other stuff. It's pretty darn simple. So that's it. I just gave you the 2-finger MBA right there. Right there. Now go be the greatest CEO you can, you and your puppy. That's it. That's like that's what I'm saying. We get into this stuff. And guess what?
What?
This is where the separation is. So I gave you the NBA in 2 fingers, but how many people are going to go look at finger 1 or finger 2 and start looking at the lines of the finger and say, oh, and do the pricing index, like figuring out if so is market research. Am I charging right in the marketplace? Well, maybe I'm charging too high, so I'm not getting the volume of sales. Oh, well, maybe I'm paying too much for something. I'm doing now. I see all that. So I gave you the MBA on 2 fingers, but I ain't give you the workflow for figuring out the answer. So that's what I'm saying.
It's funny. I went to a community event today, 5K community event, and of course, vendors galore, right? Quite a few vendors out there. So I'm out there talking to some people I know, met some new people, just kind of seeing what's out there, kicking some rocks around, so on and so forth. And for those that know, what I do, their questions to me was, man, I need to really get with you. I need your help because I need this, that, and the third. I want to be able to move my business. And the first question I ask them is, how, um, well, first of all, how's business going? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, how's your revenue going? Right? So that's the first question, but that's not the most important question. The most important question is, how's your margins? That's the most important question.
Yeah,
But
that's
before you can get to that, you gotta say, how's the revenue going? And then you hear, oh, it's okay, or it's not really
they don't
moving.
know.
You-
They
you-
don't know.
Right? And then in true form, I go, well, do you know how are you pricing out your products? Game over. Conversation done.
Yeah, you talking to a child. You trying to do relativity theory to a child. They're like, huh? What are you talking about?
But the
It's like,
purpose of that is to plant a seed because you know how I am. I like for people to think about have something to think about that disrupts their
yeah,
mind so they could ponder it and start looking for the answer.
yeah. I mean, no, and and you know what? That's why the world needs you. Is you patient? I mean, I'm not patient with myself. All right, I'm that's good. I am not a patient person, but I'm not a reckless. I wouldn't say I'm impatient. I'm just not a patient person because I'm at a stage now where I'm training and stuff, and I'm not oblivious, and I really honestly want to help people get there. But it's a point where like I need you to start putting stuff into it, folks. If you tell me you own a business or you running a business or you're an entrepreneur, I don't take those titles lightly. So in my mind, even though I know it's not, but I'm not gonna shrink to the I'm like, if you're doing this, there's certain things that I want you to know. You got to know this, or in true fashion, say I have absolutely no idea, and that's why I'm asking for help. See, the part that gets me is when people want to pretend. Like, don't give me something you read and then you were watching some sick or some movie or something about business and you start throwing all these things in my face and you have no clue what you're talking about. I'm saying, say, I don't know. I have no idea. Now we can have a real conversation. All right. I have no idea. The strongest people, the people that do and lead, this is leadership. We in OT, but whatever, this is leadership. The people that say, I don't know. You know what? As I get older, you know how easy it is for me to say, I don't know. It's a lot easier to say, I don't care too, but it's easy to say, I don't know. Because you get comfortable in what you do know.
Yeah.
And you say, hey, I don't know. And this is somebody who I'm constantly reading or learning about. So like, I'll look something up real quick. And because of the training I do, I can synthesize it. But that doesn't mean I don't know. If we go back to you, Nicole, like this, the 2-finger MBA, I've given you the top level. But there's pricing philosophies and cost philosophies and marketing philosophies. I know marketing. That there's people that could go real deep into it. And they know vocationally how to do it, but they don't know how to send the information back up for it to be actionable. And dude, there's a lot of accountants like that too, that they know accounting and they're far better accountants than I am. Like accountants, they're far, but they couldn't explain a thing to you unless you were an accountant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so how good is the information if you can't explain to somebody? So these are the things when somebody, so I take that same thing. You say, oh, I own a business. Well, okay, the level I'm on, I'm like, okay, you own a business. We could talk shop. And usually, like you said, you get to that joint and he's like, oh, you're just starting a business. Mm-hmm. And then which is nothing wrong with that. But you came at me like,
Like you
I'm
all in.
president and CEO of so association. All right. Oh, for real, yo, that's good. What's up, man? Like that. Blah blah blah.
I used to run a team back in my old company. This time I do this and do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, wait, hold on. I ain't got one. I need one. Y'all don't know what we talking about. I'm waving the white flag. No. We gotta sign off, man. We gotta sign off. Like that. Like that.
Look. Just remain a student of the journey. For those that are on the journey, the difficulties is educational. For those that are not on the journey, the difficulties become and remain the pain. Just remember that.
No doubt. And that's right,
You know what I mean? And then don't try to run a business, a small business, I'm gonna say it again slowly.
Okay.
Do not try to run a business, a small business, with a corporate attitude.
I mean, look, yeah, mic drop. I mean, that's that. Yo, that's a preview? Is that a preview?
Just don't do it.
I think that's a preview for another show.
Yeah, just don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. It's wrong. It's
Wait,
bad.
I low key got it.
It's bad. It won't end well.
I really want to go down this. I really want to go down this path, but I know I gotta speak on it, man.
No, you don't. You gonna get me started.
All right, we're gonna save
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna promise it's the next show.
No
but
doubt.
We're gonna talk about it
I'm just
because I think it's important.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You got the hats, you got the shirts, you got a sticker on your bumper. And
You got the cards. You got
And
everything. It goes by what I said earlier.
but you can't guide somebody on what it is that you're trying to have them envision, that your vision is, and then identify the purpose and the execution of what it is you trying.
All right. Time out. The ref is not here. Time out. I need a timeout. Look, this is a great conversation. We're going to win. So, just time out. Just need time out, man. Things are going out of control.
You run into those problems, come holler at me at biztherapy.info.
No doubt. Beautiful way to segue to the sign off. So
look, we'll get them training wheels on.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm going to turn the page. We'll get back to that. Yes, Biz Therapy. We created Biz Therapy to help usher people to the next steps. So if you're zero revenue, you just got an idea, you need help to get to the first step. If you $1 plus revenue and you like, boom. If you have a business that it's just not getting you where you need to be, and look, quite frankly, it's not paying your bills. You paying everybody else, but you're not paying, you can't eat off of it. You need some biz therapy. You know what I'm saying? You might need a good accountant too, but you need some biz therapy. And good accountant is not there to solve that problem. It's to give you the data that you need to solve the problem. So you need good accounting for that. So, so understand our biz therapy program is for the people that are starting out or early stage or not, it's really for that, because the human element and what we're building, I'm like, it's not finished, is touching to the human element, because none of this stuff is easy, folks. It's not easy. I mean, no one is saying it's easy.
Nah.
What we're saying is it's possible. So, but you have to put some work in. You have to continue to learn. You have to be open. You have to admit your shortcomings. You have to, because no one can help you if you don't admit that you got a shortcoming.
Yeah.
So no one can admit. So if you go to somebody like, I know everything, it's just not working. Well, how motivated is someone going to be to help you? If you know everything, then why are you coming to me? That goes for people to try to get these taxes done too. But anyway, I'm not going there. I'm chilling. Because then we can pipe Nicole in here. It can get real crazy right now. But no, we're not going to do that. It's a beautiful Saturday, and I'm gonna go see what my boys doing outside. You know what I'm saying? And so go check with them. So don't forget, throw your comments down in here in Facebook. The shorts, we got a bunch of shorts coming out on YouTube. Check us out. We're gonna get them over to Instagram too. We've been a little bit behind in the production house of getting things done. So check that out, and start checking out our blog. And we actually have a blog post from and I need to refresh it to bring it to the point to up front that talked about what you just said, the corporate attitude to small business, like 20. It might be like 10 years ago I wrote this thing. So anyway, need to refresh that.
I mean, the other point to that is whatever level you were at in corporate, you had resources and tools
Yeah.
as a director or manager or whatever position you was in. That don't mean when you leave that organization, you don't have the same resources and tools.
Nope. You leave it with you. You just get a couple of pens, maybe a mouse, a monitor. If you're lucky, you might be able to walk with a monitor.
So you got to reblend your food.
That's it. I'm like 20-second time out. We take that. I'm like that. So look like that. So we out. YouTube, biztherapy.info, heywardcpa.com. Check us out on YouTube. Y'all have a glorious Saturday and a wonderful 2 weeks. And we'll holler at you then. Peace out.